Hey Tatiana, how are you?
I'm good. What's going on?
What you doing?
Nothing. Just catching up on my philosophy work. You ever heard of Sextus Empiricus in Plato?
I've never heard of Sextus. Whatever. I know what Plato is though.
No, not Play-Doh. Plato.
Oh well, no. What is it?
It's not what is this. Basically, who are they? They're people.
People?
Yeah, they're famous.
Explain more.
They're well-known philosophers. So I'm going to start off with Sextus Empiricus first. So Sextus Empiricus was this well-known philosopher, and basically he just believed in skepticism. And skepticism is basically being doubtful of certain knowledge. So he believed, well, skeptics lived in a way where there's no absolute belief. So they wanted to like rid any judgment. Basically, Sextus, his question was, how could anyone really know what the truth really is? Like, where are we going to get this information from, and how do we know it's not false? So
True.
right. So he thinks people should basically rid their judgment because people have different perceptions of things. What could be true to someone could be false to someone else. For instance, like, how a 3D cube looks on a paper,
Yeah.
how it could look left to someone and then to someone else it can look right,
Yeah.
like it's going in the right direction. That's basically what he's saying. You never know what's the true position of the cube, right?
Exactly.
So that's Sextus Empiricus. Now Plato, he had this whole story about...
And he's a person too, a man.
Yes, not the Play-Doh.
Got it. Okay. I mean, I'm just trying to understand Plato and Sextus.
Okay.
All right.
So Plato, he was a mathematician and also a well-known philosopher, and he had this whole concept of of judgment as well. So he had this story of three guys in a cave, and how all they knew was the shadows that they've seen from people walking by, and one of the guys from the cave had eventually ventured out into the world or whatever, and they saw new things.
Mm-hmm.
And what was true, or what they saw was what they thought they saw wasn't true. So he came back to the people in the cave, and
Stop moving.
they thought he was lying. So basically, what Plato is trying to get at is that not everything we see is true. He uses the cave to symbolize how humans only believe what they're used to.
Stop.
And he uses the shadows to symbolize that everything isn't always as they appear. Sometimes it just takes that one person to step outside the box or the cave, and put in the back of their mind what they know, and be willing to accept other things that they see and other things that people may tell them, and just keep that in their mind. And having a fixed mindset won't really get them anywhere because it's not allowing them to gain more knowledge. For instance, if I stayed in a house my whole life, no windows or anything, and I never stepped foot outside, and I always thought the sky was brown. But then I have company over, and they're like, oh no, the sky isn't brown, the sky is blue. And I'm like, what are you talking about? The sky is brown from what I think it is or whatever. And I finally step outside and I see him wrong. So basically, just having an open mindset is what Plato is getting at, and not everything is what they appear to be. Now, what the two philosophers have in common is that they both focus on human perception. It's just that Plato focused more so on a sensory human perception, and Sextus Empiricus didn't. My name is Tatiana Powell, and this is my philosophy project.